Yo, what's up guys, welcome back for another YgoPro duel video. The new archetype, like revealed like a week ago I think. Salamangreat. This is a very strange archetype. They are getting new monsters. The last one was revealed yesterday, I think it was Jaguar. But as you see, 42 cards currently in the main deck. I mean, the main deck definitely needs work. There are so many things that I need to change. Again, feedback is definitely appreciated. And as I mentioned before, the archetype is very strange. Especially for the ritual monster, it feels very underwhelming. It's searchable off of pre-prep, so again, that's quite okay. But let's take a look at the monsters first. Foxy. Upon normal summon, it's pretty much a pot of duality without the special summoning restriction upon normal summon, and then you can get something like any Salamangreat that you excavated to your hand. But again, it only triggers upon normal summon. It also has like a grave effect. Discard a Salamangreat, a card from your hand to special summon it from the graveyard. Sadly, and that's similar to the other Salamangreat monsters, is that you can only use one of their effects once per turn. But then again, most importantly, you want to get these cards as soon as possible in your graveyard. And I'm looking at Foxy, for example, the one of Falco. Falco is good. It has like a Zephyros effect once per turn, and it's at any moment, at any point sent to the graveyard. You can get any spell or trap from Salaman from your graveyard and set it again to your spell and trap card zone. But again, for the moment, there aren't really too many Salaman spells and traps. I'm just looking at a ritual here. The field spell, of course. I was running the field spell at 3 first, but again, their link monster Heat Leo is super underwhelming. Again, very strange. It will get its second effect if you use another Heat Leo for its link summon. You can use a field spell for that one card, quote unquote one card link summon, to go for a second copy of Heat Leo, but still, I don't think it's worth it. I mean, you can go for it, the field spell as it one, it's just an extra copy of a Salamangreat card to potentially be revealed after your Foxy's excavated targets, but still, it doesn't feel well. And again, I eventually dropped the field spell to 1. And then in Horse Prince, definitely good, as you will see in a couple of moments. Same for the Resonators, but yeah, let's just see a couple of example duels. Okay, first example. So I get to start at this point of testing. I was running the Strudo again, just standard link shenanigans, right? And the thing here is with your Salamangreat cards is that currently with the current wave of support, it feels very underwhelming. I mean, the monsters are fine. It feels like Goki. The monsters are definitely okay, but the options, they're lacking boss monsters, and again, their link monster currently is a link 3, and again feels very underwhelming. But again, we are definitely, at least we can expect more support for this archetype. So you have to find other archetypes or other engines to support this deck, and one of them is the Cyberse structure deck and the Cyberse shenanigans, of course. And quite important is that Foxy, upon normal summon excavate the top 3, also has a grave effect. Discard like a Salamangreat from your hand to special summon itself from the graveyard, and then pop a spell or trap from your opponent. Again, once per turn you can only use one of Foxy's effects, but you need like a face-up continuous spell, I believe, in order to use Foxy's grave effect. So, and that is where the Cyberse continuous spells definitely can come into play to get use of that, right? So draw, I believe at this point I was still running 3 copies of the field spell, but I quickly, dropped it pretty much down to 1, right? Dot Scraper should have been special summoned next to Power Code Talker, again potentially use its effect, but again using the ritual summon, using your emeralds, its second effect again only triggers, it's very similar to Heat Leo. Its second effect is its best effect that it when it's link summoned using a copy of itself on the field. You can at least you can destroy all special summoned monsters on your opponent's side of the field. So a quote unquote Rakeki, but again it only gets that effect if you use a copy of itself that's already on the field. So again, you need to pretty much ritual summon twice to get its full effect. So that's quite hard. But again, Cyberse Magician definitely helps with that, searching those extra ritual cards. The Resonator engine, I think it's good currently in the deck, but it, you know, might change in the near future. The Mirror, the level 2, is also one of the recently revealed ones, like when it's added to your hand, you can just special summon it to your side of the field. So again, potentially giving you extra fire monsters, extra Cyberse monsters on your side of the field to, you know, to go for extra link summons, right? Go for Boral Sword. Again, Boral Sword is one of those boss monsters currently the quote-unquote Salamangreat archetype or card series lacks, so you need to run those boss monsters like, again, Boral Sword, right, to deal with big monsters on your opponent's side of the field. Having Heat Leo on my side, at least yeah now, but at this point Heat Leo isn't really doing that much, right? And something important is with the rulings is that, what is it called, Format Skipper? I think it's, yeah, here, indeed, Format Skipper, I think, but I'm not sure about the ruling, is that if you have the field spell of your Salamangreat, you can use Format Skipper's effect. Well, you can always use it, but, you know, reveal like a Heat Leo, and then, you know, your Format Skipper will gain like the effect attribute, etc. So, and then use the field spell to special summon another copy of Heat Leo, but I'm not really sure about that. Again, correct me if I'm wrong. Cyber Switch, I'm thinking of adding in more Cyber Switches. Again, she's so important, and again, it's one of those link monsters that can instantly gain so much advantage. But the small downside is, again, you have to main deck extra Cynet ritual cards, so I'm not really sure about that. Going for Needle Fiber again, searching out Red Resonator. Horse Prince, again, that's good. Has the option to search out either Foxy, special summon it to your side of the field, or what is it called, a Buffalo, and you know, Buffalo, discard, draw 2, and that's again something that the archetype lacks, like a draw card, draw power. That definitely would help, right? But as I mentioned before, more support will definitely come. So normal summon the Phantom Sky Blaster and its effect will be negated by the impermanence. Yeah, the deck definitely needs more back row, I think, more defense. At this point I was also running the shooting, what is it called? The Riser Dragon, indeed, Riser Dragon, to set up potentially the Salamangreat Falco, for example, but I eventually dropped it. I mean, okay, Needle Fiber can definitely go into something like Wonder Magician, Riser Dragon to set something up in your graveyard, but again, you're needing, at least you want to keep your extra deck space potentially for other cards. Anyway, that's definitely a good start, but here, okay, I think I had the, yeah, indeed, go for Cyberse Magician, so I have the option to go for the double ritual summon, at least thanks to Cyberse Magician, again, reborn something, and here, having the 2 ritual spells and the 2 ritual monsters, the Emerald in my hand, so I can potentially use, at least go for the double ritual summon and destroy all special summoned monsters on my opponent's side of the field, but nope, Eradicator Virus gets rid of, you know, the spells, right, so I can't go for the ritual summon. You can somewhat recover from this if you're using the Salamangreat Falco, again, you know, Falco, when it's like sent to the graveyard, it does not really matter, from where you get back one of your Salaman spells, right? In this case, it can be the ritual card. But still, yeah, again, as I mentioned before, you're lacking power cards, power boss monsters, and that's something the archetype still needs. Going for Bowl Sword again and use the field spell since Falco was sent to the graveyard. Going for Eagle, but still, at this point, Eagle is like just quote-unquote normal beatstick, if you know what I mean. It's just a like a big 2800 attack point monster. He does go for Ray, and that triggers the Diablos, and that's again a problem, right? And eventually I'm going to make a mistake. He does as well, you know, with Code Talker, etc, etc. So normal summon the Debugger. Debugger is so good, again, searching out Mare, special summon Mare, using the Zephyros effect of, you know, your Falco. Sadly, Falco won't trigger here, but that's all fine. Sadly, you know, with these restrictions of only using, or being able to use their effect once per turn, that definitely hurts. Going for Borealo Dragon, but I think Borealo Dragon, again, is not really that great against Diablos, but what can I do, right? This is the duel is dragging. Again, another copy of, yeah, eventually, last turn I made a mistake. I just should have taken the what is it called? Well, man, the names, I'm not going to butcher her name, but, you know, the Sky Striker Link monster, and then make at least prevent her effect from still being used, her continuous effect of the attack lowering power, and then, you know, Borrow Sword would potentially like suicide it into the Diablos, but in the long run it's not going to matter too much. Again, the recovery place of this deck isn't really that much, but yeah, Soul Charge might be needed in the deck. Monster Reborn, again, the deck is currently running so many cards, so like always feel free to leave feedback. So again, yep, I believe he's going to, yeah, Debugger is going to be negated by the Impermanence, I believe, and next turn I believe he's going to draw one of those Lair of Darkness monsters. Yeah, Amina, I believe the name is, so yeah, that's GG well played, right? Another example again, the opponent gets to start, that's all good, Impermanence is going to negate the Sage. Opening hand is okay, Summoner Monk is in the main deck, Summoner Monk. I personally don't like Summoner Monk that much. It's again one of those cards with high risk, high reward. You're discarding a spell, but if your opponent has like an Impermanence or Effect Fail or whatever, the chances of you winning the duel is already very low. Then again, on the other side, Summoner Monk does open up a lot of plays, so I think it's needed at this point. So again, go for Balancer Lord, Lady Debugger, you know, getting those searches, etc. Code Talker again, and thanks to the continuous spell, grinding and gain some more advantage. Going for a Ram, I believe the name is, and going for the Trans Code Talker, you know, Reborn Code, some standard Code Talker shenanigans, but at this point it feels a little bit too much of like a Cyberse deck, but still, your priority number one, and that's with the current Salamangreat support, is as soon as possible get your Foxy in the graveyard, same for your, what is it called, your Falco, and then as soon as you're, it's like, if it's your next turn, you can use their creative effects and go from there, right? So I don't think you need to main deck more Salamangreat cards, but again, I'm sure we are getting more support of this archetype, so again, depends on that, right? I made a small mistake, I should have searched Lady Debugger earlier, but it's not really that important against Cyberse Magician coming in clutch. I think I should be able to go for the Ritual Summon eventually to blow away in the entire field. They had indeed the double Ritual Summon. Not really sure if I had the option, probably not. Yeah, the field spell is not really going to do anything, okay, giving me some extra life points, but again, it won't really matter that much, right? So yeah, again, this is currently my list. Like always, feel free to leave suggestions, the deck definitely needs it. Okay, guys, that's it. Thanks for watching and feel free to leave a comment or a like if you enjoyed the video. Lithium signing out. Peace.